How y'all doing? My name is Apollo Soul. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my project Body and music in general. So Body. So I released a project right before Body called XCIV, and Body was gonna be, Body was still part of XCIV, but as I was mixing and working on it, it just didn't really fit the whole mold of XCIV, so I figured I'll just split it off. It'll work perfectly because I started working on the songs for Body on the second half of XCIV, so there's a reason why it sounds completely different than XCIV, because it was two different times, and that's why it inevitably didn't make that album, which I would have loved. I would have loved if it made that album, but I am very happy that these 4 songs are on a project by themselves. So Body is the prelude to season 3. If you follow how I structure my music, it's just like a TV show. There's seasons, episodes. Seasons are major chunks, and episodes are small, separate projects. So season 1 was Scattered Thoughts and Reborn. Season 2 was Apologies, Roses, XCIV. Body is the prelude to season 3, and Proud Minds will be season 3, episode 1. I guess I just gave away the next project's name. It's called Proud Minds, but we won't even cover that right now. So working on Body, XO was the first song I had. I made that within, I want to say less than a day. I had the whole song done in 12 hours. It's basically all bassline fueled. So I have the bass line and then I have the hi-hats, which is where my vocal sits in between. I have a good conversation between the bass and hi-hats and my vocal. So I was very happy with that, and keeping it kind of a little bit more of a minimalism throughout the whole thing, lyrically and production-wise. Then we move on to the hook, where it gets a little bit more EDM, and then the drop happens, and I've been getting a lot of questions on the vocal breakdown for that, when the beat drops and there's this weird vocal part. It's literally just scatting. It's just me making sounds, and me taking segments from the song, because you can hear it go phone and all these other, and then I just played it through my keyboard. So it's very simple, nothing too crazy. I didn't really push too many boundaries on this album. I just wanted to make it sound very good. You know what I mean? I wanted it all to sound very similar. I wanted it to sound very professional. Not like I don't make all my other projects sound professional. I just focused more on making it sound professional than sound effects and all this other filler stuff. So after XO, I made Purple Rain. That one was just really fun. I had the beat, and then I started side chaining the bass, and that's when I get that won't, I get that pump. And then I wrote the hook. The hook came pretty quick. Lyrically, the hook came quick, but the flow took some time to get there. All in all, I like how it flows, because it's offbeat, but it's also on beat, because all my rhymes are happening on a note hit. But the way that I'm flowing, I'm it's just chaotic, which I love. I love chaotic music that sounds pleasing to listen to at the same time. So then after that, I made On My Grind. That one's it's not really crazy. That one, it's just basically me talking about you can't stop me. I'm here, you can't actually stop me. No way I'll ever give up. And my favorite part of that is the last hook. It's like an ode to rock bands when they would I would watch a lot of live shows. Okay, so growing up, I was really big into rock bands. It's just what my dad pretty much transferred over to me. My mom transferred pop music over to me, and my dad transferred rock music over to me. So my music is a lot of pop rock-ish. So me and my dad, we would always go to these rock concerts Led Zeppelin, Bruce Springsteen, U2. We just seen all these people. And a big common thing, is to stop all instruments, let the drums dun dun, lights flash on on each drum hit. That's a very popular thing, and that was something I wanted to recreate. And so I did that at the end of On My Grind. I've been on my trying to find this one road inside my and the drums come back that one was just very an ode to my rock influences. Kind of like my Linkin Parks and stuff like that. I wish I would have seen them live, but I've never had the opportunity to see Linkin Park live. I've been getting Mike Shinoda references as of late, which is really cool because he's someone that I looked up to when I was younger, before, like pre-music years. That Linkin Park was always like my go-to band. I loved them, especially Mike Shinoda. Like, he was the one that rapping, if y'all aren't familiar with members. Chester was the lead singer, Mike Shinoda did the rapping and like the production of their music, so he was someone I like heavily was influenced by. Like, looking back at it, you know, you don't know you're being influenced at the time until you look back and you're like, wow, okay, my music actually takes on a lot of like Linkin Park-esque sounds. So then we go to Same Old Jew. Probably my favorite concept. The more and more I listen to it, the more and more I really like it, and I see why it's blowing up the way it is, because it's getting really dark. This sky is about to fall, I tell you. Oh yes. So I know that it could like resonate with a lot of people, just because I know a lot of people that are dealing with the same thing. I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit here. So I know a lot of people that have been dealing with the same thing, you know, like the friends that you grew up with. Now, I had a lot of friends growing up, and, you know, some of them are great, you know, some of them changed for the better, but a lot of my friends changed for the worse, you know what I mean? When I knew them, they were getting, you know, we were all getting fucked up back then, drinking, just having a good time partying, and they're still doing that. Like, I don't do that shit anymore. I don't go to house parties. I don't really drink. I stay home 98% of the time. It's basically an ode to the people that you grew up with that are literally the exact same 10 years later. That's why I believe it's gaining the traction. The guitar is a very familiar sound, so people are attracted to that. It's a good beat, and it's a very relevant and relatable topic. So that's why I think, wow, that wind is picking up now. Damn. Okay. That's why I think that one is very relevant. But yeah, I don't know. Body was definitely a very cool, short piece of work, and people are really, really liking it. Like, liking it a lot more than I thought. It's gaining a lot of traction just because I think, you know, and this is a thing of like dumbing it down. I've completely scrapped that grouping of words. Dumbing it down is the wrong phrase. Taking like a minimalist approach towards your music is the better way to say it. Not overdoing it, making your lyrics short, but still hold that punch of like bar for bar rapping. That's something that I'm starting to adapt into, is taking more of a minimalist approach of using less words so that it flows better and I can do them easier on stage, and when I'm recording it's easier. And I don't know, I'm trying my best to be the best artist that I can. I focus so much on music theory and just like the feel-good vibes. I'm a very musician. I'm not like, oh, what if we drop this from a B flat major to D major and then change the, you know, like, I'm not on that, you know what I mean? Like, I am not, like, I went to school for this stuff, so I know what you're talking about, and like, you know, your fifth harmonics, your third harmonics, I know what you're talking about, but I don't do it in my music. I'm not like writing fucking sheet music for all my songs. Like, I just feel it out, and like, I just play what sounds like musically good to me. So yeah, I don't know. But I am like, now I am learning like the basics. My ADD is like watching all the little fuzzies and leaves fall off the tree and fly around. Lately I've been learning like more music theory and like how to sing better. I've been doing like vocal warm-ups. I got this app that makes me do vocal warm-ups every time I record. It's got like vocal exercises to get so you can hit certain notes and smooth out your vocal and lose the nasaliness and all this other stuff. Like, there's so much that you can do, and I'm trying to do that at the source instead of having to try to fix it in here with auto-tune and all these effects. Like, I'd rather just be a good singer from the get-go, or like a little better. Like, I am not trained in any way. I'm being trained by a friggin' app and just the creation of music. It's been a damn long friggin' journey. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I don't see a sign of slowing down, just because there's always growth. There's always a next step. And that's why I had to get out of rap music. Like, I did rap music for like 5 years, 5, 6 years I rapped, like, and like I'm over it because there's a ceiling you hit. You can only do so much with rap until it turns into a cross version of it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be just a rapper, like there's like certain guidelines you almost have to fit. You know what I mean? As soon as you start introducing certain sounds and instruments and you pick up the speed a little bit, now it's a hip hop pop fusion, and they don't want that, you know. So it's with rapping, I've noticed that I plateau at it. I'm over it. I'm like over just rapping. I like singing. I like mixing singing and rapping. I like my robotic effects. I like chopping up vocals. I like doing really creative stuff with my music, and I will always be pushing the boundaries of what I can do, and always trying to push where music can go. Because like I said, I mix so many genres in one. Like there's like Light It Up is very hip-hop produced, hip-hop and trap, pretty like rapping verses, and then it's like a pop country-ish hook. And then we have an EDM breakdown. So like it's like 4 different song genres in one, and that's my thing. That's what keeps me going, is like what can you push this to? You know, what are the actual boundaries? Because there's never been a boundary in music, especially the new age era. You can literally just keep morphing sounds until it's, you know, like you can change a synth to a piano just as easy as you can a piano to a synth. It's wild. So I don't ever see music ever just like slowing down or plateauing, because like there's always someone out there pushing a different sound. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing, is I'm like consistently putting out a certain sound. Because like now when you hear my music, if you listen to like Apologies, because like Reborn and Scattered Thoughts are kind of lost now. Like there's still Cruise the Streets, there's Perfect for Me, there's like a couple from each, but like for the most part those were me just like testing the waters and seeing where I was going. I really look at it at Apologies, Roses, XCIV, and Body. Those 4 pieces of work are phenomenal as fuck, and the growth between them is phenomenal. Not one project sounds the exact same, but you can still tell that it's me, which is something I've been working on for a very long time, because like I just said, I don't like sounding stagnant. I have to mix genres. I have to do something different. I need to collaborate. I have to always be pushing myself and challenging my creative ability. So yeah, expect Proud Minds to just be amazing. I'm working on an orchestral section for one of the songs now, and I just added like 25 orchestral instruments. This one's really cool. It's like very peaceful. It's just talking like mental clarity. So Proud Minds would be a very amazing album. There will be a lot of features on it. If you want a chance to be featured on it, if you're a producer, rapper, singer, whatever, shoot me a message, drop a comment wherever this is going, and yeah, I'll try to get you on it. I want people, like I said, that are gonna push me, and also I can still morph them to my sound. You know what I mean? Like if you're a producer, I'm still gonna morph your production to sound like me. If you're a singer, I'm gonna morph your singing to work so it sounds like my track. So yeah, Proud Minds will be amazing. I'm working so hard on it. It won't be ready until probably 2020. I'll probably do like a New Year's kind of thing or what have you. So yeah, that's really all I got. Thank y'all so much for sticking around and watching this. At the time of recording, it's 17 minutes long. I hope I trim it down long enough for you guys. Thank y'all so much. If you haven't listened to Body yet, go check it out. It's on every streaming platform: SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them. Just all of them. Yeah. Thank y'all for stopping by and listen to me ramble. Peace.